towns. I'm from right outside of Chicago originally, so I had a lot of friends from other places. Now, I met a friend during like new student orientation. You all have like orientation at your schools? Like, you know, like new student orientation, you get to meet people. Sometimes you meet your BFF. Like, have you ever met your BFF, but you thought they were cool, but they were way too excited for you at first? They're like, oh my God, you're gonna be at my wedding. Hold up, homie, I don't even know your last name. Like, slow down, right? Slow down. It's not even the honeymoon yet, what's going on? I met one of my best friends, no lie. His name is Michael. It's home of about 2,000 people, of which there are 2 black families in town, okay? Now, you're like, Stan, how do you even know that? I'm gonna tell you. Because I do something called race inventory, okay? I can tell some of y'all don't know what race inventory is, do you? It's like when you check the room to see how many of your people are in there in case something goes down, you can make it out alive. That's what it is, Louis. 1, 2, 3. We're good, let's go. We're good. They can't hurt us here, right? That's what, everyone does some kind of inventory, people. Judge-free zone, whatever, right? Now, Mike and I got to be really cool. Now, I'll tell you this. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be roommates with Mike, but then over the summer, I got my roommate assignment. Guess who it was? Mike. He found me. I'm like, he's good. He is good. Cool. Now, I moved in early, okay? I was in band. So I had, band camp 2 hours, 2 weeks before school. Got any band people in the room? Yeah. Cool. Right on. Yes, we're safe here. They can't hurt us. Now, we're in band, so I went there 2 weeks early at band camp. Now, there I met one of my best friends. His name is Kirk Wright. Again, we're best friends to this day also. I'm telling you, at the end of 2 weeks, I knew everything about Kirk, everything. Have you ever fallen asleep talking to someone, woke up, don't know where you were? And when I was 2, that was pretty much what it was. Now, crazy, woke up, all right, and now, end of 2 weeks, Kirk was helping me set up my room. We're having a really good time, but I knew Mike was moving in this day. Music's on, we're dancing. I look out the window, and I see Mike pulling up with his mom. I'm like, oh no, I gotta tell Kirk. I'm like, hey Kirk, can you turn down the music, man? He's like, sure. I'm like, hey dude, I know the line. Whoa, I didn't say that. That was what we were playing though. It's like, Kirk, man, this last 2 weeks has been great, but there's someone else. Yes. His name is Mike. Mike comes through the door, he's like, yo, what up, dog? Why? Let me tell you this, because his mom did not know I was black. I just guessed, okay? Why? Because when Mike and I talked over the summer, I was Stanley David Pearson II. And then I thought, you already know where I'm going with this. By many a vote, that is not the blackest name on planet Earth. If there is such a thing, I don't know. So she did not know. Now, I knew she didn't know because when she looked at me, she didn't change her face at all. Because women, I know you all are ninjas with your faces. I know it. Act like you like somebody, but you really don't, all right? But I knew, so I'm like, Mike, get out of here. I'm like, Miss Eben, give me a hug. I gave her the biggest hug any black man's ever given her to date, I'm pretty sure. I'm telling you, every trip up and down the stairs with me and Miss Eben, I've been like, Miss Eben, can I take the TV from you? I mean, for you? Gosh, relax. You watch too much television, lady. Relax. Stay with me, people, all right? Every trip up and down the stairs. Now came a time where Mike wanted me to start going home with him. That's when I had to draw the line. Like, I felt like I knew enough that I was comfortable with people, but again, I let other people affect my creativity, like the things that even I wanted to do. There's some things that you actually want to do, but you're not doing them based on what someone else is saying. That was me for a year. For a year, I kept from going home with Mike. A year. Some of y'all can keep a secret for 5 minutes. A year. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Like, I'd be like, oh man, I wish I could go home with you, but man, I got band practice, dude. Yeah, all weekend. Oh, I'm going to fly home to see my parents. Like, every weekend for a year, I had something new going on. That's why I wasn't going home with him. But we also had some of the same friends. So one particular weekend, he went down to band hall and just missed me, and he was like, they told him that we had the weekend off, so no one was going to be there. Then we also talked to each other's parents all the time, but my parents knew I really didn't want to go to Shelbina, but he actually talked to my parents once when I was not in the room. They told him I was not going home that weekend. I came back to the room, I didn't know what was going on. But as soon as I said, what's up to Mike, he was like, hey man, what up, dog? It was way too cool. I knew something was wrong, right? It was way too cool. He's like, dude, you want to go home with me? I'm like, man, I'd love to, man, but I got band practice this weekend. He's like, really? I was just in band hall. And they said you all didn't have anything going on. I was like, no! Have you ever been caught in a lie before? Like you were so caught in a lie, you just changed the subject. What's for dinner? I don't even know. My toes, right? Is it hot in here? I don't know. You open the window? I didn't even know what happened on. I'm like, oh, dude, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to visit my parents this weekend. I'm going to go hang out with them. He was like, really? I was just on the phone with your mom and dad. Listen, I was stuck. I mean, I'll tell you this. It was crazy, and I knew I had met my maker, but it was crazy too because up to that point, Mike had been a great friend to me. I mean, super good friend. I don't know if you have a great friend right now, but hold on to them. He's the kind of friend, like, I'm an asthmatic, not as bad as it once was. He has physically carried me into the emergency room before. Oh yeah, matter of fact, he's been the dude standing next to my bed when I thought that I was taking my last breath in the emergency room. On the phone with my parents, like, Mr. and Mrs. Pearson, don't worry about it. They said he's gonna be fine. You don't have to come out here. That's the kind of friend that Mike is. Matter of fact, I couldn't even play fight in front of Mike, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't even play fight. Mike would be like, break it up, break it up, break it up. I'm like, Mike, she is 115 pounds. I can handle this fight. I don't want to. Talk later. Sock in the door, my friend. Whatever, people. That's the kind of, I mean, just a great friend. So I'm like, fine, I'll do it. I go to my side of the room. I call my mom. I go out in the hallway. He grabs his cordless phone. He goes to his side of the room. Now we meet back in about half an hour. He is too excited, more excited than I think he should be. He's like, dude, we're going to have such a great time in Shelbina. And guess what? I talked to my dad, and he wants to go hunting. Yeah. You all know what I know. We don't hunt. You've never seen us on National Geographic's Leading a Voyage, have you? No, you have not. Not a one time. No. No. I had to think long and hard about that one. I was like, as long as I don't get a vest and a head start, I'll go. Go ahead, Stan. We're right behind you. Get him, boys. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And sometimes, you know, when you're affected by other people, you begin to make up stories of what might happen to you. I had already made up my own escape plan. I didn't even know what was going on. Now we get to Shelbina, Missouri. We go hunting. It was crazy. Number one, we all got guns. I thought that was pretty fair. And orange. I did, no lie. And we all got orange vests. Equally fair. I'm like, cool, I can make it out here. I feel like I can do this. Now, how many of y'all have ever been hunting before? All right, cool. I'm about to speak your language really quick. For all of you novices, people who really don't hunt, try to keep up. Now, here's the deal. We went quail hunting, all right? Now, I'm not lying at all when I tell you at 19 years old, I had no idea what a quail was. I just knew it wasn't Stan, so I was game. Let's do this. Let's get some. I'm ready for quail hunting. So we get out there. Now, if you've never went quail hunting or hunting before, this is what you do. You find a forest. Now you all are in the forest. Now you begin to stalk the forest. Y'all stalking the forest is much like you all Facebook stalk. Same concept. Same concept. Now, if you don't know what Facebook stalking is, honestly, I'll tell you this. 99.9% of people Facebook stalk. The other 0.01% lie about it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And if you don't know what it is, it's Facebook stalking is when you go to someone's profile, but you don't click like because you don't want them to know you were there. That's it. That's what Facebook stalking is. 100% of you, guilty as charged. Guilty. So anyway, we get out there. Now we're stalking the forest. Now what you have to do is you walk up on some bushes. Am I right or am I right? Yes, I am right. Now you pick up some rocks, M&Ms, whatever you have on hand. You throw them in the bush. What happens next? Someone who's a hunter, what happens when you throw those things in? Yes, the birds fly out. And then they go, pull, bust a cap, depending on who you're hunting with. Semantics really doesn't matter, right? Pull. When they say that, everyone pulled out their guns and started pulling. Oh my God, it was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. They were like, pull, come on, shoot that, pow. When they were like, pull, I was like, do you hear any sound at all? Because I didn't pull the trigger one time, people, not one time. I was out there for 4 hours, didn't pull the trigger one time. You want to know why? Because as well as I knew Mike, I didn't know if we got out there with his family and he would change, like be a renegade, like, let's get him. Like, no, I'm like, you know what? Just in case, I'm going to have all my bullets, homie. Like, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I am not lying to you. Half the free world knows this story. Mike has not a clue. No clue. No one will tell him. Thanks for keeping my secret. But I'll tell you this, we had a great time. I mean, one of the best times I've ever had in my life, and it's something I would not have done if I was holding on to someone else. Matter of fact, I feel like it was my parents and my friends that were finally pushing me to do something. Sometimes our creativity is a little bit stalled, and some people will push us into greatness. And then you just accept it, you own it. Much like some of y'all are just here by coincidence, or someone said, you know what, this person's not here, so you should come, you should be here, come. You're like, all right, I'll do it, I'll come, whatever it is. someone voluntold you to be here. In the moment, it's like, I don't know. But when it's happening, when you're actually experiencing something, somewhere deep down in your soul, even if you don't tell that person, you feel, thank you.